And good. You ready?
I'm ready. We rolling? All right, let's do it. All right, man. Today we got the journey to 40, man. My dog, he turning 40 years old. So happy early birthday to you, brother. What, I ain't got to say early birthday because when it's coming out?
Birthday Sunday.
Birthday Sunday. All right, so
You
it's
know what
going
I'm
to be your
saying? Just a
birthday.
few days. You
All
know what
right,
I'm
all
saying?
right. What's going on, man? Today is a very, very special day, man. We going to talk about the journey to 40 that my dog have, man. He making 40. It's his birthday. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, brother. Proud, glad you made it to 40.
For
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? So we just gonna kind of get into his life a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, he didn't reach a level. He reached a level of success now uh, that a lot of people admire. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know the prior life. They don't know who you was and what you went through, the struggles, the lessons, the things that you acquired. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you know what it took you to get here. So we're gonna kind of just tap in, man. Get the people behind the scenes of how you really got here. So I'm excited to let them see how you did it, though. How you did it without a record deal. How you did it without playing ball, but you
Yeah.
still, as an African American male in this world, reached a level of success, bro. And especially because people look up to you just like you a ball player, just like you signed a deal, you know what I'm saying? But you're
Right.
also able to impact lives. So let's just tap into this journey to 40, man. So I got some questions for you,
Let's go.
uh, just to kind of help the people understand who Teddy the GOAT is, man. Teddy the GOAT, let's do it. All right.
No, ain't too many people can slide the other name in there now.
All right, I know,
Now,
I know.
now I know you try to correct.
I
Now
correct
Teddy,
myself because I know he don't like that.
yeah.
That's my dog, so it's a little
Every
different
time
on
he
him.
used to tell me, he used to be like, he called me Teddy. I started saying, the last person called me Teddy got pregnant.
Yeah, he used to give me hell with that, but that's always what I call my dog, man. All right. Let's go with I know the answer to this question, I believe, but I'm gonna put this one out here first. Who influenced you the most as a child? Who you think put the biggest impact on your childhood?
On my childhood. So we talking about who influenced my childhood or who my role model was?
Let's go with the influence, then we'll tap into the role model.
So my biggest influence growing up was my mama.
Mm-hmm.
She was my biggest influence. Just seeing what she went through out the mud, everything she overcame. She was my biggest influence though.
Gotcha. So the relationship, a lot of people don't know that, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
So on my mama's side, it was just me and her. I was the only child.
Mm-hmm.
On my pop's side, my sperm donor side, I got like one sister and like three brothers, but we don't really have like a relationship like that though.
Gotcha. So how was it being the only child growing up?
It was rough at times. I had two cousins. They was like my brother, Kenny and Corey,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. But it was tough, man. Because growing up as an only child, it's no validation from nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's no support. So me and my mom was the only thing we really had. You know what I'm saying? So I made like 6 years old. My stepdaddy came in my life. Well, I ain't gonna say stepdaddy because he was my real daddy to the day he passed away.
Yeah.
Barbara, so.
Peace. All right, gotcha. So I'm gonna just ask this one question here. What's your opinion about uh, some people in life they want one child, and by you coming from that, it's a topic. Some people don't believe in having one child. Some people do, but you lived it, the life. You know what I'm saying? So what's your opinion about being the only child?
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time because being the only child, taught me a lot of valuable lessons. It taught me that it made me not scared to be alone, but it also made me, in other words, learn how to deal with other people. You see what I'm saying? Because it was times I felt lonely, I had to go. So it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because at times I just wanted to be around people.
Gotcha.
I just had to be around people. Even with my relationships. Like I've been in a relationship since I was younger. Like, shit. I've been in relationships since I was a child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
gotcha. So all right. Well, that's an interesting conversation because a lot of people don't think that much until being the only child. But I feel like a lot of who I know you are, that people, the real you, I feel like a lot of the reasons you are is because of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can feel it.
But people may see you and don't know that, and they can never connect it to.
Yeah.
But that deep down, that's you. That's
played the role. That's the reason why I can't do two things at one time. That's the reason why I struggle with having patience. You know what I'm saying? Because as an only child, I got to do what I want to do. I ain't had to share with nobody. I ain't had to fight with my mama over being who her best child was or who her favorite child was. I ain't had to deal with that.
Right.
So growing up, once I grew up and I had to step out into the world and I actually had to deal with those type of things, like people like loving me for me like my mama did, and I ain't had to battle with other siblings. Like I say, it was a blessing and a curse at the same time, but when I entered the real world, some things became a challenge because I wasn't used to it.
Most definitely. Gotcha. All right. So who about the role model? Who your biggest role model was growing up?
My biggest role model, I got quite a few. One of my biggest role models growing up was Tupac, for sure. That was like a role model that I didn't get to meet, of course, but just through the music. As a child, you know what I'm saying? Not a teenager, but as a child, probably Tupac. And a dude in my neighborhood, his name was Slimmy. He was from Dixie. Slim was a role model. He gave me my first Wake Forest jersey, Tim Duncan. I was a little boy at the time, and at the time when you growing up and you see, this guy riding around the Benz and this and that, got all the gold chains. That's who your role model be when you grow up in a neighborhood like I grew up in. So that was my role model, like Tupac and Slimmy.
Gotcha. So now that you at a place where there's a lot of young people that's looking at you the same way you looked at Slimmy, right? Does it cross your mind of how he gave you that Tim Duncan jersey, the things that you do for these young people that they're going to take with them and potentially remember for the rest of their life? Do you think about it from that perspective sometimes?
Yeah, I do, but being that for where I come from and I know how he was able to do it, I'm just glad I'm able to do it in another way.
Most definitely.
And I give a lot though, you know what I'm saying? But my mom, like I said, me not having to battle with the siblings, going back to that, it allowed me to have a big heart because my mama had a big heart. You know what I'm saying? So I give freely, man. I go to Smoothie Kings and give away $500-$600, give money away at gas stations, Jack in the Box, wherever I might be, will go a place on my heart. But I've been like that. I just been a giver all my life. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. I definitely know that. I believe that's one thing that we connected on early on. It was never like a battle of giving. Like we, business partners, and like, man, we need to give to the people, give to the employees.
Yeah, I remember a conversation we had. Like, shit, I was working in the oil field, and you was working in Gonzales, Louisiana, in the plant. And I was struggling because I remember I asked you, I don't know if you remember, I say, man, I give a lot to strangers, but it's hard for me to give to my family because when you get a family and friends, they tend not to appreciate it.
I do remember this
because they only care about what you could do for them at that moment. You know what I'm saying? I remember I had a little cousin at the time called me, man, guess what, man? I've been paying my bills on time for 6 months, bro. I think I deserve a blessing. I'm like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
This nigga grown. You know what I'm saying? But You know, it's just things like that. I told him no that one time, and I was everything. I mean, I was everything up under the sun just because I had it and I wouldn't give it to him. But it go back to a biblical sense. When you read in the Bible, God tells you to give to. Jesus tells you to give to the poor,
yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. So I think I just get that, man, because I just move how God moved me. I don't have a. And I remember what you told me. You said if you want to get a family. And I can't remember exactly what you said. You said you was gonna start like put money to the side every month, and then you'll pick a family member like every 3-4 months.
Still do
just
it to
to
this
get
day.
a whole bag too, and you still do it to this
Still
day.
to this day.
And that was from that conversation. Yeah.
I call it in my notes. It's called blessings from the heart.
Yeah.
Whoever God put on my heart for the month to get a blessing.
Yeah.
And it's just,
so I never got to that because, you know.
I mean, still do it in your own way.
Yeah, because so you strict though. You a lot stricter than me.
Yeah.
So your people know not to come play with you like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
My people just.
I mean, I ain't gonna say everybody. I got a couple. I got about 2
that'll
try to keep coming, but I, you know, for the love for them is gonna allow it to keep coming. But
man, do it. I just had one that didn't come to my birthday party. Somebody been close to me all my life. Called me yesterday, the day after my birthday party, say, "Cuz, I'm hurting." I told him, I say, "Well, shit, you ain't come to my birthday party, man. What's up?" You know what the boy told me? Well, I ain't have a suit. I said, "Well, your caller asked me to borrow money. Now you could have called me to borrow money to wear a damn suit." Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So, what did you really picture yourself being when you grew up, when you was a child? Like really, like what you thought you was gonna be doing?
To be honest with you, from a child all the way up until, and we're gonna get to that later on. As a child, going all the way up into being a teenager, grown man, I never knew what my path was in life. And I know a lot of people struggle with that.
Most definitely.
You know, you go to school, you say, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer. Some people say a police officer, a fireman, or whatever case may be, because these are the things that we see that's legit.
Right.
The only things that we see that's legit that people can do to actually be something. Now the world has changed.
Right.
When I was a child, it was doctor, lawyer, fireman, police. Now it's ball players wasn't even that popular back then. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, it was more of those things. But now it's, because it was more realistic. Now it's, I want to own a trucking company. I want to, you know, because the world then expanded and opened up a lot more.
Definitely.
But I seen myself being a lot of things, but I suffer with, and that's another thing, going back to being the only child, I suffered a lot with identity issues. And a lot of people don't never want to talk about it or come clean about it or accept it. That most people at a point in time in their life, especially when you don't have God present, you go through identity issues where you don't know who you are, you don't know what your path might be. And I went through it for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah. Gotcha. So coming from Baton Rouge, from BR, do you think BR made you grow up fast?
Nah, Baton Rouge was slow. It wasn't even as fast as New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? When I went to New Orleans, I felt the speed. You know what I'm saying? We used to only go for like Mardi Gras and Bayou Classic and stuff like that. So Baton Rouge was slow. It was fast at the same time. Baton Rouge is a very interesting place, man. I remember later on in life, they had a congressman. He came down to like, you know, see if he wanted to, you know, run for like a mayor or something in Baton Rouge. And I was in Walmart by Cartana Mall. And I remember the man stopped me on the frozen aisle. I remember like it was yesterday. And he told me, he said, hey, and this was like 2 years before I moved to Houston. He looked at me, he said, hey man, he said, man, I could be y'all mayor down here, but I don't even want the job. I said, huh? He said, man, leave this place. He looked me dead in my eyes, told me leave this place. And like, I love my city, but when that man told me that, you know, the man ain't even want to be the mayor.
Yeah.
So that means it was something that he just felt like he couldn't change or wouldn't have the power to change, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, comfortability, you know what I'm saying? I look at my daddy, first time actually leaving leaving Baton Rouge when I moved to Houston. My dad ain't never left Baton Rouge in his life.
I know people like that. It's
Neither did-
mind-boggling, but
Neither did my mama. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get my family, my kids. A lot of people follow me here.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I love my city though. If it wasn't for Baton Rouge, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah, most definitely.
For sure, for sure.
Most definitely. All right, so that's kind of the early childhood. Now, what age you feel like you became a man in your mind? You may still have been a teenager, but in your mind, what like, man, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm on my own. I gotta stand on business now. What age you feel like that was for you?
Well, coming from going back to when I was a child, like I said, my stepdaddy got into my life when I was 6. When he got into my life, actually my mama was struggling with drug addictions and stuff like that when he met her. And my daddy kind of like no rehab or no nothing, just with pure love and caring for her, got her to turn her life around. You know, and he actually my biological father is the one that actually had my mama hooked on drugs. My stepdaddy came in, which is my real father, and he came in and changed the narrative for us for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they did well, man. My mom and daddy bought a house in the neighborhood. You know, they was one of the only parents that was actually had a mortgage on the house that we were staying in and wasn't renting. They had bought a Chevy Trailblazer. You know what I'm saying? They had a little Nissan car. I used to steal it every now and then, go on joyrides when I was a little older. But from the age from 6 to about 12, man, for a 6-year span, when my mom was drug free, my daddy was in my life. And my daddy was a hustler, but he wasn't a street hustler. He was just a hustler at heart. He knew how to get the bills paid. He hustled the legal way all the way around the board, and that's where I get my hustle from. But for 6 years straight, I had an amazing childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like I was one of the people in the neighborhood that people down there jealous of because my parents actually was on their shit. You know what I'm saying? And so when I made when I felt like I was becoming a man, when I made 12 years old, my mama started back messing around with drugs, and it was because of a man she had met and started messing with, cheating on my daddy, right? And she lay around there, and I guess the man coerced her to lie on my dad and say my dad raped her, and they was married. So my dad went to jail for a false allegation that my mama put on him for rape, and everything in my life fell apart in a matter of 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So I had from when I couldn't remember the 6, I went through hell just one-on-one with my mama, her fighting drug addictions with me and seeing her battling my biological father in and out of my life. To from 6 to 12, everything going good, then boom, everything crashed again. You know, so crazy thing is I started following my daddy's footsteps. The sins of the forefather. All right, so I started following his footsteps. I had my first child at 14. I dropped out of school in 6th grade. That's when I became a man. So I got a 6th grade education. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So I made the 6th grade. I dropped out. As soon as I made the middle school, my baby mama was pregnant. I know the timeline might don't seem right, but I was held back a year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2 years. So yeah, I feel like I became a man at an early age because once my daddy went to jail for that false allegation, man, it kind of changed everything. The house went into foreclosure. I remember when the constables actually came, because I started trying to actually work, you know, a foundation job with this man named Connie Durr. God bless his soul. He gone. He was a great man. He actually let me start digging out slabs with him, working with him. And I was actually trying to keep up the bills as a 12, 13-year-old child. You know what I'm saying? Out there and you know, before they poured the cement, you know, I was a slack man, just throwing, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to do what I can to help because my mama was in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And my daddy was in jail, but everything came crashing down by the time I was like 12, 13 years old. Then I had my son at 14. So now I was a man, but from 12 to almost 14, I was sleeping on patios. I was sleeping inside of like They used to have a wash and dry. My partner, mom and daddy had their wash and dry. I used to be outside in the shed. I used to sleep in there during the winters, like sleep on the patio, my auntie patio. Like it was hard for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't until I had my son and my baby mama at the time, her mama and daddy actually like took me in type shit. But yeah, but that's when I became a man though. When you got to pay bills at 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, that's a different life there, partner.
Mm-hmm.
Whole different life. Yeah, that's I feel like that's a very foundational part of your life.
Well,
that piece
that was
for
one
sure.
of the biggest parts of my life. Remember, going back, I'm the only child, so I didn't have no brothers to go through this shit with.
Yeah.
I ain't have no sisters to lean on and crown and go through this shit with. I had to toughen it out myself. Motherfucker throw me a cover. I gotta go sleep in a cold ass goddamn shit, you know what I'm saying? And I was by myself because I ain't had no brothers and sisters. My daddy in jail, my mama running the streets, she on drugs, and I just gotta just figure it out. And a lot of people say, oh, where your family members was. Shit, my family was going through their own problems.
Yeah.
And their own shit, you know what I'm saying? So.
Gotcha. All right, so the infamous question people like to ask, what would you tell your 16-year-old self if you could go back and have a conversation with him? What advice would you give?
If I go back to my 16-year-old self and give some advice, is get close to God and trust Him, because your situation sometimes you can't control it at that age. You know,
Right.
You can't control your situation, but going back to this, a lot of 16-year-olds went through a life that I went through where God wasn't present in their home. You know, like my first time hearing God is from my baby mama. Like they was religious, like, but at the time I had went through so much. When they took me in, I didn't want to hear none of that because I'm like, shit, if he was real, why the hell he let me go through all that?
Most definitely.
So I kind of had a deaf ear for that at that time. You know what I'm saying? That go wrong. But if any 16-year-old is listening right now, y'all going through what I done went through and then been where I done been, God is the answer to all things. Get a relationship with Him ASAP. He could change the situation.
Yep.
For sure.
Most
And make sure you pray.
Gotta stay prayed up.
Gotta pray. Got to.
Gotcha. All right. So that's pretty much the teenage years for the most part. Let's get into the 20s. All right. So what was the introduction to your 20s like? Where were you at in your life? How was things going? Who was Tedrick at 20?
Well, at 20, well, actually, at 18, me and my oldest son, Mama, we went our separate ways. We kind of grew apart because we was kids, right? And I met the beautiful wife I had a day that everybody see. And I met her at 18. And it was a crazy story on how I met her. Me and two of my little partners, you know, was in the streets. We had went and broke into this house, and we took a whole bunch of stuff out this house. And the dude house we broke into found out it was us. So my daddy, he come from the street. My daddy did a lot of time in Angola before he came home. Remember, he did 11 years before he came home and met my mama, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my daddy had a lot of ties to the street. And it got back to him that his son was the one that broken. My daddy, he got out of jail from the false allegation. My daddy sat in jail for 2 years for that false allegation for rape. You know what I'm saying? So when I was 17, finna make 18, me and my baby mama had just went our separate ways, and he found out that we had broken somebody's house that he knew. So he called me, he like, son, y'all, you gotta return the stuff. I'm like, man, I'm not returning nothing, man. You crazy. He like, man, you gotta return. I'm about to come pick me up right now. So I had a Regal at the time. So I go pick him up. So we going down Scenic Highway in Baton Rouge, going towards like Baker area, because the guy actually told us to meet him like Bradley Road. So we on our way there, me not paying attention to the gas, car running out of gas.
Mm.
When the car run out of gas, I pull alongside the road. My daddy hop out. I'm about to go down the street to the Chevron. I'm gonna walk down there. You stay your ass right here. I'm gonna get a gas can. I'll be right back. Man, so my daddy walked 10 feet from me. He got hit by a car so hard, it knocked him all the way in the air. He hit a light pole and came down. He broke all his ribs in his body.
Damn.
And I walked up to my dad, and I was standing over, and I remember the people coming out their house calling the paramedics, the ambulance and all that. And my daddy was just gasping for air, like he was, like I just knew I had lost him. And at that time, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you just killed your daddy. The only person that had like been there for you, you know. But that was the first time since I had met my older son, mom, that I actually prayed.
Mm.
And I prayed after my daddy got hit by that car, and I was like, God, listen, I can't lose my dad. Like, this is my fault.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you pull him through, I promise I'll change my life. Like, you know, and then, you know, later on I still went through a lot of obstacles, but that was the first time I prayed. And the first time I prayed, God showed me he was real.
Mm.
Because my daddy lived through that.
Yeah.
You know, my daddy was in a coma for like, and that's how I met Shane. That's how I'm gonna lead up to this. And my daddy was in a coma for like 2 months. 50% of his brain was damaged. Collapsed lung, all ribs broken.
Mm.
Probably 25% chance to live. You know what I'm saying? And he pulled through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And God showed me then that he was real. I used to sleep at the hospital. And on the side of town where the hospital was like on the good side of town.
Mm.
And they used to have this woman named Lisa. I knew her from staying in the projects behind the mall with my little cousin and we stayed. And she say, hey, I work at the Jack in the Box on Seagan Lane. You know, I know something happened to your dad. I used to go to my auntie house to take a bath and shit. So I know, and my mom was actually in rehab at this time.
Mm.
And like I know you be sleeping at the hospital, but on that side of town, I'm a shift manager at the Jack in the Box. I can get you a job, you know, something legit. I was like, cool, fuck it, it is what it is. So I remember the first day I walked in Jack in the Box, I had on like a plaid shirt. Shan still remember the plaid shirt. She called it my court shirt. When I got in trouble later on, like this was the shirt I used to wear to court all the time. And I remember walking in there and I seen her, but she noticed me first, and she said she told them, oh, that's my man. That's my man. So I ended up meeting her, working at Jack in the Box. And my mom ended up getting out of rehab. My dad ended up getting out the hospital like 3-4 months later. I ended up quitting Jack in the Box after he got out though. And me and her still maintained a strong relationship, and that's how I met Shane.
Mm.
And that was like 18, 20 years old.
Gotcha. So Jack in the Box was your first job. Well, the cement job was your first job. Then Jack in the Box.
But actually, Jack in the Box in Baker, Louisiana was my first job. That's why I met the woman Lisa at.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But I worked there when I was 16.
Mm.
When I was staying with my oldest mama people.
Gotcha.
But that was in Bakersfield, Louisiana. That's close to Baker. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I met the woman Lisa working at that Jack in the Box. But that's how I ended up getting offered the job at the Jack in the Box over there.
So give me a few more in the 20s area. What other jobs that you had, just to kind of, you know, shed light of what type of work and what type of things you did in your past life?
Well, like I say, when I met Shan, her dad ended up giving me a job shortly after at it's called Bailey Lumber.
Mm.
So I used to work in the insulation department. So we used to go in houses. They had 2 ways to insulate them: rock wool, where you spray the insulation in the walls, and then they had the fiberglass where you take the machine and make it even. But yeah, I used to work in attics in the summer and stuff like that, spraying rock wool and insulating houses.
Yeah.
So I was an insulator for a while. I used to work with Shan dad, and then I followed him to Holmes Building Materials when he left there, and I worked there. And then after I left there, he went to Ed Price. I ended up going there. Then I ended up going to jail after that.
And what age that was when you went to jail?
When I went to jail, that was probably like later on. How old was I in 2010, 2011?
25.
It's about 25.
About 25.
25, 2000, November 2010, I went to jail on the armed robbery charge. And I remember the U.S. Marshals coming and going to Shan mom and them house looking for me. And ended up turning myself in, got a bond, died. And then I went back to jail February of 2011, which was a couple months later, on another armed robbery charge. So that kind of shook my life up too. But Shan was always there for me, her and her parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They believed in me. So she was getting like a refund check from school. She was going to Southern for an accounting degree. Used her refund check to come get me. And the crazy thing is they had a Bells bomb and they stayed right across the street from them.
Mm-hmm.
And so he used to be like 10% to get people out of jail. He used to get us to pay us like 3 to 5% for the insurance, and I used to get that. But
so how was, like, obviously you got picked up for an armed robbery charge. A few months later, you go back for another armed robbery charge. Did the second one wake you up? Did it like, man, I'm tripping, or was it still like it didn't click until later?
I don't know. I really don't have an answer for that because I don't even remember what my mind was at that time. Because at this time I had a lot of moral support.
Mm.
So every time I go to jail, I'm burning out. You know what I'm saying?
So it kind of
like 2-3 days later, like the last time I was in there because they were supposed to revoke my first bond, so I stayed in about 2 weeks, but they let me back out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think nothing sit in with nobody until they actually had to go sit down.
Right.
I never had to go through that part. So it was kind of like a game to me. But Shan dad again stepped in and say, hey, that's how I ended up getting to Houston. He ended up stepping in and say, hey, I know some people, I'm gonna send you down there to Houston. You know what I'm saying? I was working at a power plant off 290 by Willowbrook Mall down here. And I actually got an auntie that stay in Houston. So I came to Houston in like 2012.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I came down here in 2012 and I stayed here for like almost a year.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So financially, where were you at in your later 20s, like financially wise? Were you getting to a point of comfort? Were you still kind of in the rat race? Where you feel like you was at in your later 20s and financial wise?
I felt like I was doing well because once I moved to Houston, and I was staying with my auntie working at that power plant in 2012. I was making good money. I was giving my auntie some rent money and stuff like that, helping her out. She was the only family member I had here. But I was in a good place, you know what I'm saying? Shan was pregnant with Brooklyn at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I left Baton Rouge, she was pregnant. I actually had in my mind, see, it's crazy how things work. I had in my mind then, that was my breaking point. Man, I'm in another city, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was having fun. You know, I'm moving around, something different from Baton Rouge. I still miss her and my kids that was at home because I still had, you know, I had her, I had TJ, I had Adias, and I had Brooklyn she was pregnant with. The crazy thing, I didn't even know she was a girl. So I actually felt like I was in a pretty decent place. Then when Shan was getting ready to have Brooklyn, I ended up going home for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that. See, my mom always had a substance abuse problem, but remember, I was the only child. I was everything to my mama, like best friend, ride or die, like everything. So Me, I started living for the family that I had created.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think only thing my mama ever had in life was me.
Mm-hmm.
So I left her thinking about the family I created. You know what I'm saying? So I still struggle with this to this day. Don't nobody even know this.
But it's
You know what I'm saying?
it's,
You know it.
yeah, I
You know
know
what
it,
I'm saying?
but
So
just to shed light on that, at the end of the day, biblically speaking, that's the design. You don't never leave your parents truly because you still love them as long as they exist. But the reality of it is we are designed to go build our own family, and they do become the priority then. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, now the life that you created is what you have to maintain. So I don't feel like you should put that pressure on yourself that you left your mama, because at the end of the day, the Bible tells us that you leave your parents and you cleave to your wife.
But you want me to tell you something? What's crazy is before I moved to Houston, right? Me and Shan wasn't married. So like before I moved to Houston, my mama, she had like a social, like back pay for Social Security or something.
Mm-hmm.
And her and Shan used to always have these feuds. Cause remember, I was everything to my mom, so she didn't even want Shan to have me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was the only thing she had.
Right.
So she ended up buying the wedding rings and tell us to go to Justice for Peace to get married. It's almost like my mama knew something was going on with her when I moved to Houston. But I remember Shan used to tell me, I take TJ to your mama crib every weekend, and there's nothing but vodka bottles up under the couch.
Mm-hmm.
So I call back home like, hey man, you on that shit again? Like, what's going on? Cause you know, my mom like my best friend. Motherfucker, you left me. I hung the phone up on me.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta think a lot of times, and this for people listening, like a lot of times we want to believe in God, we want to cling to God, but we gotta understand that us as people, like we down here going through real life situations. That's why I say like your belief gotta be real strong, your faith gotta be strong to know he with you through everything. Because man, like I was mad at everybody because I feel like my mama had went into a dark place because I chose the family that I had created, the wife that I had just married, the kids that I had back home, to try to move to Houston and make a better life for them. My mama ended up growing a resentment towards me for that, but I think it was part of her substance abuse that she had going on when I was gone that had her feeling like I left her, I abandoned her, and that was the only thing. So for a long time, and to this day, I still struggle with, you know, what ifs. Everybody literally likes it, what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what if I would have never left? But I probably would have been in jail because that's the road I was heading before I moved to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? I was heading down the road of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in life, you're gonna have a lot of what ifs. So, yeah, she was going through like a real bad substance abuse problem for almost a year when I left. To the point like when I actually came home, I remember like it was yesterday. Shan didn't have a natural birth. She had like a C-section, like a scheduled C-section for Brooklyn, and I knew what day it was gonna be. So it was like an induced birth.
Right.
So I told him, I said, man, I gotta shoot back home, man. On Wednesday, you know, my baby about to be born. So I shoot back home. And at this time, you gotta remember, I had 6 boys. I had no girls. I had 6 little boys. And like I said, I followed my daddy's footsteps, not knowing, like I say, the sins of the forefathers. Like, if don't nobody believe in God, just go read that Bible and get an understanding.
Thanks.
Everything that's in that Bible will come to the light. Every single thing, he gonna show you he real.
Mm-hmm.
So like the sins of the forefathers of me just doing everything that my dad did, having kids with multiple women and having kids on my wife and going through this and going through that, like we went through a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But going back to this, I drive back to Houston on Wednesday. I go see my mom as soon as I get in because I heard what she been doing.
Right.
And go to the highs. So when I get there, I'm like, damn, so my mama don't look right, you feel me? So I'm like, Mom, why your feet swole? She like, man, just working, you know, da-da-da-da-da. But when I came to the highs, I still got a picture in the video right now. Like I came to the house, I brought her some flowers. I brought her like $800, and $800 a lot back then, you feel me? Because I was just working in the plant down there and just taking care of my family. And I brought her home, but my mama she had tears of joy just sitting on the couch like, she was like, I love you so much, son. I love you. I love you. I'm like, I love you too. So went to Shan, mom and them house, went to sleep, woke up, came back, spent the whole day with my mama on Thursday. Went back to Shan and mama house, went to sleep. Friday morning, I get a call from my daddy. He hooping and hollering. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, your mama dead. I'm like, what? What the fuck you talking about?
Right.
He was like, get to the hospital, man. I think your mama dead. I'm like, think she did. Like, man. So I done lost it. You know what I'm saying? And we drive to the hospital. I get there. Sure enough, she had been passed away, bro. And I talked to the doctor, and the doctor was like, yeah, she got diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver like a year ago. Like maybe like 2 months after I had left and moved to Houston. So you can imagine like the pain and the guilt and everything I had on my heart and the resentment I had for even my wife, for wanting better for our family. Want me to come down here and get my shit together. You know, I'm like, I done chose y'all over my mom, and look what happened. The best thing in my life gone now. You know what I'm saying? But show you go real. Shan, my mama died Friday. My daughter was born on Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it was a bittersweet moment, man, for sure.
Most definitely. I believe around that time was shortly right after when we met. And
because I couldn't come back out here to work because once my mama died, I didn't even want to come back here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even want to come back to Houston, so I just moved back to Baton Rouge, and I ended up getting a job with Total Safety.
Yes, sir.
As a fire watch.
Yep.
I was a fire watch, hold watch, making $13.50 an hour. That's how I met my dog.
Yes, sir. Good old Total, man.
Yeah.
That's the days, bro, for sure. So I feel like mom's was like, do you feel like the passing of your mama was like the biggest transition in your life?
It was the biggest transition. It was the biggest transition in my life, but like I said, I still was living with a lot of resentment because you got to remember, my mama and Shan didn't get along. They argued, they got into it to the day she passed away. And then my mama felt like Shan took her away from me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with all that. So it's a lot on me at the time. I'm traveling. Now I'm traveling, I'm moving around. You know how I was inside them plants. It's like you're living a whole nother life.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm saying? I remember this time that I was working this job in Memphis. Matter of fact, I was working out there with your little brother.
My big brother, yeah.
Your big brother.
Yeah, Lloyd.
Lloyd, that's how I met Lloyd out there. He was out there a short period of time. But man, we out there, and I remember Shane from Brooklyn to come visit me in Memphis. I was standing at Clarendon Inn by Harvest Presser Boulevard. And they used to have these things called JSAs. You know what a JSA is? The JSA in the plants is when it's like a job analysis where you see like what's the risk of you getting hurt and how you can stop it and stuff like that. And they had this girl that worked on the job. I ain't gonna say her name, but she kind of stole my heart at the time. Cause I'm going through all type of shit, and she every morning we used to be in a safety meeting, and she used to fill out a JSA just for me, and on JSAs to be like, why I love him. What's the risk of loving him? and bro, it was something that's totally different.
Took me back to high school.
Oh my God. It was something I ain't never had seen before. Like she was running game on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So so I remember Shan coming out there, and she come in the room, and I had put all the jail, saved the girl, wrote me in the trash can, and the little rubbers and stuff that I had, and Shan found all that shit and flashed that.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm good.
yeah. So she flashed out, went crazy, and we went through a lot at that period of time. But like I said, I still was holding a lot of resentment.
Yeah.
At the time, so like I was still trying to find validation off the resentment I had from her dealing with my mama and other women.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, that was the season I walked in, you know what I'm saying, in that resentment phase towards the wife because of moms and you know, I saw your pain. I did. I could remember it like it was yesterday. I damn nigga remember the conversation we had. I don't even know where we was at, though. We probably was in Port Arthur. Not Port Arthur. What was the other place we worked in? Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi.
We
was down there. Wow.
A long time. It was a Corpus Christi, standing by this generator. Them light plants. That's what they call.
The light plants.
Talking,
I remember.
And I remember.
Right outside the unit with a cool down station.
Yeah, bro. I remember talking, and he kind of was shedding light about what we talking about now. And it kind of put everything in perspective of understanding you know, in an early stage of, you know, getting to know somebody. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I do believe that situation shaped you for sure, in my opinion, a lot, with the moms and her passing and you having that resentment in your heart, and it kind of allowed you to kind of, you know, go through a season. Right. I think it was necessary though. It was necessary for you to go through it, and but you know, to see you on the other side of it is a blessing for sure.
For sure.
All right, so 20s. Anything else about your 20s that you would like to share, like something that you feel like you went through in your 20s that make Tedrick the GOAT who he is, and you know, a special moment in them 20s or something? Anything else?
I really can't think of nothing. Not in my 20s. I think I done shed a light on down to everything I went through in my 20s.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Up to meeting her and my mom passing away. Like that was most of my 20s, to be honest with you.
Gotcha. All right, so now hitting the age of maturity that most men feel like when they in their 30s, they should be at a certain level to a certain degree. They should have accomplished certain things. Enter into your 30s, did you feel like you was a 30-year-old, or you feel like you was behind schedule? How you felt?
I felt like I was 50.
So you feel that way because of all the things that you had on your shoulders, things you done been through. Gotcha.
I had endured so much, bro, man. So in my 30s is when I made the transition to move my family to Houston. But so remember I talked about when my mom died. Mm-hmm. So shortly after my mom died, a year and about 6 months later, my white mom died. Mm-hmm. And it took a toll on us as a whole. Cause Miss Deborah meant a lot to me in my life, you know. Like, she taught me one valuable lesson. When my mom died, I was leaning on my father-in-law for so much confidence, and I'm looking at him like he was a savior. You feel me? And she told me, she said, "No man is perfect. Mm-hmm. A man will fail you every time.
Every time."
And this was her husband she was telling me about, but she was speaking to me in a biblical sense.
Most definitely.
And I'm like, not Mr. not Mr. Elton. Mr.
Elton don't do no wrong.
Hell, you don't do no wrong. You tripping. Like, what you talking about? So, yeah, so at that time when her mom passed, bro, it was a lot. Yeah. It was a lot because you gotta get this. I lost my mom, so she was like a second mom to me. Yeah. You know, and me and her had had the relationship that her and her kids had. Mm-hmm. You know, like she started to protect my name like she protected her own kids' name. Tedrick couldn't do no wrong, and we ain't start off that way.
Mm-hmm.
you know. But she got to know me for who I truly was, and around the time we had and shaped this bond after my mom died, and everything got good, and me and her became like a strong bond. She ended up having a stroke shortly after, and then that led to a seizure, and like a year and a half later, she passed away. So then, boom, that hit us like a rock. Now I feel like I had lost something else. Well, I had lost something else that was like real dear to my heart that I still struggle with to this day. You know what I'm saying? So I in my life, I haven't lost just one mom. I lost two. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's hard to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But then it's crazy. Like after she passed away, me and Shane dad, we became even closer. You know, because as a father, he just wanted the best for his daughter, and he know I was wild and went through this. I pulled up one time, and Shane car was shot up after a shootout, and you know what I'm saying, and he just wanted the best for his daughter. But you don't see those type of things until you actually become a real father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And me and him became close. You know, and that was the start of my 30s, bro. And I ended up moving to Houston. At the Shan mom died, we ended up moving to Houston. Moved our little sister and brother with us. But I promised myself when I got to Houston, I needed a big change. So when I first got to Houston, I didn't go out for like the first 4 years I was here. I didn't know what a club looked like. I didn't know what downtown looked like. I didn't know what the Galleria looked like. I made a sacrifice. I wasn't gonna do none of that. I just wanted to grind. You know, because remember I was here in 2012 before my mama passed, and I got to do all those things by myself, away from my wife. You know, and I just promised myself when I got here, we moved to like the old Pearland on the other side. And by Friendswood, going towards Friendswood. And like the first 4 years, I sacrificed. I ain't do shit. My wife worked. She got a job at the post office. I had a job. That's around the time I was in Corpus Christi with you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I just was in grind mode, bro. Like I just wanted better for me and my family. I feel like I was in my 30s going on 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I was tired. You know, it was like 2016 was when I moved to Houston. We in 2025, that was 9 years ago. 9 years ago, shit, I was like 30, 31.
31, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was in my 30s, man. So I just wanted better for me and my family. So I sacrificed for the first 4 years I was in Houston. And I remember when I moved to Fresno, we went from apartment to a rent house in Fresno, right down the street from where actually you stayed at.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
remember.
And I stayed inside then. Remember, you went out for your birthday, you, Fred, and everybody, Slim. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna stay inside. I ain't going nowhere.
I remember them days.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere for 4 years. I stayed in the house.
I remember. Yeah. Definitely remember. All right. 30. So like, how did you go from working these regular jobs, you know, still trying to sacrifice, save money, put your family in a better position, to all of a sudden creating a business? How did business enter your life?
So I end up, so my problem in my life has always been the sin of the four fathers that was passed down from my father was women.
Yeah.
Right?
Most successful.
A lustful spirit.
Yes.
Right? So I prayed so much to God to remove me away from that. So what he did was he took me from the field that me and you was in. And it's crazy because we both was going through the same thing in the same season. I was married, you wasn't. And he moved you to a stable location. I remember you coming to me telling me, hey man, I'm about to move to Louisiana. I'm like, fuck you leaving Houston for? He like, man, I'm going to be celibate, man, and I'm going to find my wife. I was like, this nigga's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And we went opposite directions. You know, you went to Louisiana, and but you always been a friend I can count on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But before, when I was living there, before you even moved, well, you had just moved. I remember my transmission went out of my Escalade, and me and my wife wasn't doing too good. I was driving Uber to try to make it around Houston. I would drive an Uber under her name because they wouldn't give me one because of background. And I remember I called you, asked you for like $3,500, and you just sent it. You know what I'm saying? And I paid you back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
definitely
saying?
did.
And that meant from me to you that showed me a lot. It showed me a lot.
Like I said, that's me understanding the story, understanding what you're trying to do for your family, and it was a no-brainer. It wasn't thought of it immediately. I could remember it was you gotta help them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I give from a place of, even if I never would have got it back, it ain't come from that place.
For sure.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, so at that time, me and you went two different directions. You went to Louisiana, you went celibate to go find your wife. Me, I had prayed so much for God to remove the lustful spirit out of my heart. But so what he did was he moved me to the oil field. So I went to Odessa and Millings to work on oil rigs where I'm in man camps and no women around.
Right.
It's nothing but men.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so that was really transitioning me to being a businessman, because when I was out there, I got a chance. I remember talking on the phone with you. You're like, hey, man, you need to go read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I read that book. And then there's a couple more books that you put on my heart to read that I read while I was out there, bro. And just for me to you, if it wasn't, and that's what a lot of people don't understand our relationship.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. A lot of my success had a lot to do with you.
It's less vice versa. It's likewise, for sure.
Yeah. So, remember I had a 6th grade education, you know what I'm saying? And I remember being out there in the oil field and we talking down there every day while you on a job and I'm on a job. And it's crazy how God aligned. You was a supervisor on your job, and on my job, I was a safety guy, so I ain't do shit and you wasn't doing shit.
Right.
And we used to talk, and I remember I told you, hey, man, I want to do credit. And you was like, what? Because we come from two different places. At the time, I wanted to do credit because my credit was fucked up. My wife's credit was fucked up. She in my ear every day, we need to buy a house, we need to do this, do that. And I had been through so many credit repair companies and so many people that took my money, didn't do what they were supposed to do for me. Took my money, didn't do what they were supposed to do for me. So I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna figure out how to do this shit myself. And I remember us talking every day. And then once we started diving into it and reading about it, because the reading came from you. So then I started opening up in books and started reading about credit, not YouTube.
Right.
Remember, we used to always have our talks about YouTube. YouTube is a place to where if you go in there for education, it's going to be oversaturated education, which meaning it will not work later on.
Yeah, because it's instant information. It's not really researched information
and
for yourself.
this information is available to everybody.
Facts.
So it's going to be oversaturated. So I got the reading from you. I started reading, and that's how the business mindset kicked in. And I remember calling you, say, man, I want to start repairing credit. I've been working on me and Shan credit. I got some inquiries removed. I remember you said, hold on now. Just a couple of inquiries removed now. Nigga, credit went from 341 to 380, nigga. Yeah. How you gonna work on somebody else shit? You still fucked up. But but I was passionate about it and I wanted to be better. And it's crazy how God worked, man. I was actually praying at the time. I prayed to be put in the spot that I was in to continue praying. That's why prayer is so powerful. Continue praying, because the job I was working at the time, I was 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And it was actually putting a strain on my marriage because I was working nights and Shan's working days at the post office, so we barely talked. And then you gotta remember, this is the first time in our life that where we actually was like disconnected from each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was putting a strain on our marriage. But so I came home, you know this story. I came home for my 1 week off after 3 weeks, and I went to go pick up my work truck on my 7th day to drive back to Odessa and Midland, and my truck wasn't inspected. So, and this to tell you how just one little simple thing in your life can make a complete turn.
Yep.
If I didn't need an inspection on that truck that they didn't have for me to drive back to Midland, we wouldn't be having this conversation today.
Thanks.
And show you how like one decision can change the whole narrative of your life. And so I went home. My son TJ was like, Dad, I want to play basketball. I'm like, man, I gotta get on the road in the morning, but let's go ahead and go. So I didn't do no stretching, right? So I went out there, played basketball, went for a move, boom, tore my calf muscle. Calf muscle torn. Can't go back to work. Whole time God was answering my prayer because I was praying to be at home with my family because it was a strain on my marriage. So I'm at home and I'm steady studying credit. I never stopped. Couldn't walk for like 7 months. And this happened in February of 2019. Me and you already had started Kingdom Wealth Credit Repair.
Yep.
We already had started our credit repair business together, and we was already repaying people credit, even though I still was in 300s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how God works, man. Like, and I know people probably never heard this before, but I'm not ashamed of it because this was the turn of me being a great businessman.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm about to get to. So, February 2019, told my calf muscle I'm at home. I had my little brother Josh, which is Sharon's brother. He had a friend named Monte. Monte's still a good friend of ours. And Monte used to come pick me up from the crib because me and Sharon was just working with one car. Because my Avalanche I actually gave to my oldest son, mama, so they was able to get around. So me and Sharon sharing one car. So I dropped Sharon off at work. And so when I got home, I let her take the car that day. So when she got home, she called me. She like, where you at? I'm like, I'm with Monte, but I'm lying the whole time. I'm upstairs fixing my oldest son PlayStation. My oldest son had just moved in with us. You know what I'm saying? And I was downloading the game for him, trying to surprise him like with the new Madden or something like that. But you know the downloads on the PlayStation take a long time. So as I done lied to her and told her I'm with Monte, Monte at this time staying all the way on the north side. We staying in Fresno. I'm up there for about an hour, at least 45 minutes, 35 minutes, something like that. And as I'm up there, I'm like, damn, man, I lied to this woman and told her I'm downloading this damn game. So the game finished downloading. So leave out the room, walk downstairs. As I'm walking downstairs, I hear Shane on the phone. I'm like, damn, who that is? There's a sex-ass voice on the phone. You know, but as you know, I got a torn calf muscle too, so I'm barely moving.
Right.
As I'm getting downstairs, my heart started going faster because I'm saying, this motherfucker cheating on me. She on the phone with a nigga because ain't no way she sounding this sexy to nobody. I ain't never heard this voice in my life. Right? So I walk downstairs. When I walk in the room, she was on FaceTime with a dude, you know what I'm saying? And remember I told you we had a strain on our marriage at the time because we wasn't seeing each other at all.
Right.
And me and her went through like a rough patch at that time because I caught her cheating on me, and we went through hell, you know what I'm saying? And it was hard, but go back to how God real. As we going through this transition and going through, I left the house, ended up coming back, all this and all that. As we going through what we going through, she's actually cheating on me with a guy that worked at the post office with him. And as we going through what we going through, I wake up like 5 days later after she got caught cheating. And my credit score went up 280 points across the board. Her credit score was 700. I'm like, damn. So I went and got me a little loan. She went and got her a loan. You know, so we went from barely making it to up about 70,000 to 80,000. Went and put in a bid on a house, buying our first house. And it's like, damn, in the midst of the storm, God always show up for you. You know what I'm saying? And so that was a turning point in me being a businessman because when I was cheated on, it made me lose fear of a lot of stuff that I had. Because when I lost my mom and I lost all these people and all this resentment I had, the only person I could look at the time that could never do me no wrong was Shane.
Yeah.
That was the only person like, this motherfucker can't do me no wrong. She been rock solid since day one.
Yeah.
So she didn't have no room to fuck up. But when she did, it brought something out of me I didn't even know I had.
Mm-hmm.
The fear I had in me left.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any more fear in me. So it actually turned me into a great businessman, and everything just from that point on forward just been up ever since.
Gotcha. So we went from Kingdom Well Credit Repair, trapping out the truck, you trapping out of the man camp, doing clients, and then you transition and decide to create a real business, not just me and you, but a company.
2019, 2020.
What was that transition like? How did that transpire from 2 people or maybe 50 clients go from that to 40 employees with thousands of clients making a lot of money? Like, how did that happen?
So I remember I ended up calling you after me and Shane closed on the house. It's probably about 8-9 months later.
Mm-hmm.
I called you and said, hey man, we doing pretty well right now. And I remember I quit my job in the plant. You was still working in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you was still in the journey of that wife. You was dating Miss LaDonna then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember telling you, hey man, I want to open up a credit pack company. And I said, we're gonna have some obstacles, man. It's gonna be about $150,000, $200,000 to put it together. You was like, look, man, my route always been real estate.
Thanks. I was buying houses.
buying property, man. My route real estate, man. I like the little money we making doing what we doing right now. You know what I'm saying? But I say, nah, bro, this can be huge. It could be big. And you was like, I hear you.
Yeah.
But I'm making $30-something an hour in this plant right now. I'm dating my future wife. Everything going as planned. I got my real estate property over here. So with me on the other side, I seen the vision because I knew what I had brought me and my wife. See, the difference is you had good credit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing you ever take off your credit is a collection or something. Yeah. It was in Corpus Christi, matter of fact.
Right.
But I seen you take my credit from 341, the lowest I ever seen to this day, all the way to Cellmate 800. I seen you take my wife there. So I knew that it was possible to be able to change other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to give people the same things that I gave myself and my wife. And but you know, you was more of in a comfortable mode. You know what I'm saying? You was a lot farther ahead. You had the real estate properties going. You had a vision.
Yeah.
Your vision, your plan that you had put into your life. But what I respect about you is you wasn't closed-minded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You weren't closed-minded.
That's part of the conversation we had about, we talked about it yesterday. Well, no, this was 2 days ago, about when I entered the plant, God had put it on my heart that I was going to be done working in the chemical plant.
We talked about that while we was running yesterday.
We was running. 30 years old was my cap. Right. I would be done with the plants. But I didn't know what that meant of what I was going to be doing after.
Right.
Leaving the job that I do absolutely much or nothing, make 6 figures a year.
I told you about the credit pack company, like, I ain't leaving.
Man, I mean, come on, man. You couldn't tell me to leave my $100,000 job and I ain't got to do nothing. I just come here and I'm still running my business out of the truck. So I didn't, but I wasn't closed-minded to it at all. And so, of course, I was praying about it, what I was doing. I guess it's my first time me really telling you what was going on at the time. It wasn't that I was scared. It wasn't that I didn't believe.
Right.
I wanted to hear from God. Because, you know, at that time, I was so locked in.
I remember.
If I asked God a question, I hear his voice in my ear so loud, I wanted to hear, go. And when I got the okay.
I remember when the go happened. Me and Shan went to Florida to take the kids to, shit, life going good. We on our way to Disney World.
Yeah.
Took the kids to Disney World. On the way back, we passed through Old Gonzales where you was at by your mama, and with Prairieville, matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I called him. I said, hey, man, I'm on my way back. Do you want to do this credit pack company? I'm about to smash the gas on it. Man, meet me at the exit by the Waffle House, man, right before the Gonzales Tank Outlet Mall. I remember pulling up and you hand me a bag full of money and shook my hand and say, this better work.
I remember.
So I knew God had told you something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was good from there. I had to live with it, but I was ready to rock out.
Yeah, so when I got back to Houston, you know, I put everything in motion when I got the building, went and looked into our systems and everything. The crazy thing is, shit, even where we at now, this podcast, we got computers all the way back from when we were there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I remember, and the thing is, well, I love you so much as a brother because you never had an ego or a pride. You don't meet too many people you can do business with that don't have egos and pride. Even I have that and you don't. So when you ask me, what do you want to name the company? And I said, I want to name it after my mama that passed away and my wife's mama that passed away, which is my two mothers. And it was Stephanie. Like a lot of people don't know where SCD come from.
Right.
But Stephanie Chevron, which is my mama first and middle name. And then Deborah.
Is it Elizabeth?
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Stephanie Chevron, Deborah Elizabeth was
SCD.
SCD. That's what that meant. You know, we named them after them. And, you know, most people like, they don't got nothing to do with me. You know, so many people have pride, and that's why business relationships never work. You was cool with it. Yeah. Never bucked against nothing. Was cool with it as long as it worked, as long as it made sense. And we got together and made millions. Made millions, you know what I'm saying? And we touched a lot of people's lives, but it wasn't until later on in life we started to understand, even with having one of the hugest credit repair companies that ever hit, that we understood that we wasn't impacting people's lives like we thought we was.
Not the understanding that we have now.
We was having great results, but we was getting people to fall into the same trap as the other credit repair companies in the world. We wasn't actually, it was hard. It's hard to have thousands of clients and be able to add value to all of them.
Yeah, and really give them literacy, that's financial literacy, really to help them, improve them to not put them back in a situation. You know
so I think God put us through everything we've been through to get to this point to where actually, you know, when I came out the big boy package and the mentorships is more of like being able to actually work with people one-on-one.
Correct.
Versus, you know, just having thousands of clients and they still making the same mistakes.
Most definitely. So definitely being more hands-on was a better option. All right, so boom, we here with SCDE, a very successful company, helped transform a lot of people's lives, put them in houses, put them in cars, help them start businesses. You know, we helped so many people at that very basis. That was it. But we did help. It was a blessing. Then we transitioned to another company. After that company, now we went from 1% Club. After 1% Club, we transitioned to individual brands. And this is the turning point of Tedrick the GOAT. This is the new brand. This is the elevation of who you are now that the world know you as of today. So what was like the kickoff? What was the jump start of Tedrick the GOAT? What you think turned that part of your life up?
Like I said, I always had a big heart. I always like helping people. And anytime I had a business even like we had, and even when we went to 1% Club, anytime I feel like that I wasn't impacting people's lives in a sense that I'm supposed to be doing, because that's the reason why I got in it. I didn't get in it just for the money. The money I make, the happiness I get from the money that I make and the success that I have is being able to touch the people around me.
Right.
To put the smile on my kids' face, my wife's face, the people that love me, that pour into me, right? So answering that question, the Tedrick the GOAT brand, that shit just a name. It was meant for me just to be able to get people in and teach them how to do the right thing, how to go about things the right way. And a lot of people still gonna be hard-headed. They
Most
still
definitely.
gonna buck the system.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But teach people how to go about things the right way and how to put God first. So everybody I talk to, I tell them, you can have all the money in the world. You can have 800 credit score. If you ain't got your life together and you ain't got your life right with God, I just strongly believe in my heart. And I know just by the journey I done went through from the beginning of this conversation all the way till we get to the end, that if God is not present in your life, no matter how much money you have, none of that would never matter.
Yeah. Your identity can never be in what you have.
Never.
Because it's always a temporary feeling, it's a temporary emotion that you have that money gives you or success gives you. But, you know, at the end of the day, you have to be happy within self. You have to have identity in self, you know what I'm saying? In Christ, know who you are outside of just what the world see. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's a message that you want to put out there to people, because everybody think, oh, if I had what you had, I'd be.
First of all, you didn't take the path that I took to get here, for one. So the appreciation of it ain't gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? For two, your relationship with God ain't as strong as mine. I can't say that because people got different relationship with him. But for the people that don't have it and think they like him, man, money don't mean shit.
No. It just creates a sense of security and freedom.
So remember I came to your house and we was dealing with a friend that his old lady just lost her child. And I it put it on my heart to tell him that, you know, but money buy happiness. No way around that. But it don't give you no peace. I know this from experience.
Right.
You know, peace and happiness is two different things. No, I didn't. And the crazy thing is, my oldest child cried out to me, leaving Confessions. My homeboy, shout out to Confessions, the best restaurant in the city of Houston.
Yes, sir.
We was outside of Confessions, and I had to break down and tell him. I say, son, everything I done been through in my life, my peace is broken. But I could find happiness, but you have a chance to have both.
Right.
You know, but the difference is a lot of people lose peace and then they lose their self. I haven't lost myself just because I lost peace. I learned to live with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. All right. So I was thinking of something as you was talking. It's the way I want to word this is life with God and life without God. When you went through that season of that, it was because God wasn't introduced to you at an early age. You didn't hear about him. You didn't know about him. And then, you know, as an adult now, being 40 years old, understanding how it is to live with God, to have faith, to be able to trust somebody that you can't see, but still know that the power is real. What would you just like the biggest difference in your, if you had to say, living without God and living with God? What is the difference?
So my personal experience is this. I remember having a conversation with you exactly 3.5 years ago. I was living in Houston. I was going out every night. I was doing what I wanted to do. And I remember you called me and asked me, you say, hey, if you died today, will you go to heaven or hell? And I told you I didn't know. That was my answer. And your response to me was, if you believe in God and you believe he died on the cross and you believe, you're going to heaven, Tedrick. And I say, huh? Boy, I'm sinning. He said, yeah, but God knows your heart.
That's what he died for.
Right? That's what he died for. And he said, as long as you believe in all these things, man, you will enter the gate of heaven. And it changed my whole aspect of how I can have a relationship with God, because life without God for me was, at one time before we had that conversation, was if I'm not doing everything right, I can't have God in my life.
That's right. Yeah, that's a big misconception, that people believe that I have to live perfected in order to enter talk about me having a relationship with God. The whole point of God is I am a flawed, imperfected individual. I am a fleshly being. My flesh weak. I want to sin. I want to do right, but my body wants to sin. And it's, as in Romans chapter 7:14, it talks about that. And it's like, when you understand that God wants you to know that you will forever need him. Right. Because as long as you're a sinner, he lets you know that you can't do life without him. Because if you was perfect, that'd make you Jesus, right?
Right.
So that perspective, that when you understood that, I try to give that perspective to so many people to let them know you're not looking for perfection, dog. Because you're gonna need God forever. We're gonna always slip up. We're always gonna do wrong. Grace is there. Don't abuse the grace, but it's available. It's free. It's given. You just gotta accept it.
Right.
Right. So I was excited when you kind of shared that story with me a while ago about like, that kind of opened my mind up and freed me from
the guilt,
the condemnation.
Thinking I gotta be perfect.
Because it's no condemnation in Christ. You're free in him. You feel what I'm saying? So I was excited. I could remember the excitement. I was like, damn, he finally get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you get it. Because it's different to say you believe in God, you know what I'm saying, but you don't really know how to maneuver with God.
Right.
Because you scared. I believe in God, but I'm doing a little wrong, so I ain't gonna really rock with him like that, because he might not want to rock with me like that.
I don't want to pray.
Yeah.
Because I know it don't work like that.
When you're doing wrong, you pray more. You know what I'm saying? You stay close. You understand?
Yeah, so that was like without God. But then when you told me that, so like with God now is that special relationship like I had with my mom.
Yeah.
And like I had my moments. I had my time. I remember one time I told you, man, I felt the presence of God so much, it hit me. I fell in the clean
in the closet
where all the clothes was.
Yeah,
just got the saying shit. I'm like, holla, man. Like, what the hell wrong with me? But it was the Holy Ghost. You feel me? First time I ever felt it in my life, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad I got the experience there, because some people never have.
Yeah, right.
And it's just like this morning, you know, when you called me and we were supposed to go on our run this morning, and I went on our run, man, I could, the run I had this morning, because, you know, the morning before we ran, we talked the whole time we ran. It's crazy how God works. So I called you in the morning, you woke up a little late because you was working all night, and I took off running. And man, I just thought the whole time, was talking to God the whole time, the whole trail. And when I got back to the house, Shan wasn't there. And it's crazy. I had the same episode this morning that I had 2 years ago when I told you in that class 2.5 years ago. Man, I was taking a shower, just, I gotta put my clothes on, get on out of here, get my day started. And man, as I was showering, it just something hit me this morning. I got on my knees, bro, in the middle of the shower, and I just got this shouting, God, thank you. Thank you. Because I felt so good after my run, you know, and me having this new goal of want to do 100 miles in 30 days. I don't know if I'm going to reach it, but I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And Lord say the same, but I can't even do that without God.
Right.
Because I got to make sure I don't have no imperfections, no injuries, but all that is controlled by one person.
Yeah.
And it ain't me.
Yeah.
And also, I could prep to not have that to happen, but it's a lot of things got to happen, because I run the same trail every day hoping that a car don't come off the road and hit my ass. You know what I'm saying? So I just broke down the shower there and got on my knees, bro. The water was hitting the back of my head. All I can do is yell, thank you, God. Thank you. I don't want nothing from you. I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be able to get up and run this morning, waking me up, having my family straight, my kids straight, my friends, my family. So that's life with God now.
Yeah.
Knowing that I don't have to be perfect, that he don't look for me to be perfect, that the world we live in, it has a lot of sin, so that's what keep us closer to him.
Yeah, most
definitely.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's the relationship, though, when you really know that your duty is to give God glory. You know what I'm saying? In every aspect of your life.
All the thanks.
Every bit of it.
Because in the Bible it says it's easy for I need to go through our account when a rich man get in heaven, because most rich men and most people that are popular,
self-righteous.
They want the light to shine on them instead of reflecting the light with what's matter, and that's Jesus.
That's facts, brother. So I commend you for being able to stay grounded and understand that the light and the glory that the world may try to give you, you transfer right to God.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's cool to be people thankful for you, but you know who to get a praise to at the end of the day. And like you said, at the end of the most successful people become self-righteous, and they forget and
What
they
got
think
'em there?
what got them there, and they forget that they're not, you know, they're not the person that's supposed to really take all the glory.
Nah,
You know what I'm
not at all.
saying? And
I live my life like that.
yeah, I'm glad that you understand that though, because that's very important. All right, so we kind of getting on the tail end of your 30s now. You understand? We back the backside of the 30s. Where did these black and yellow cars come from? How you come up with black and yellow cars, and why did you decide to get so many cars? How did this come about?
So, you was with me. Went to Philly. Flew down there, met Wallow and Gillen. Good dudes. We still talk to this day, man. Like real genuine people. And we go down there and we meet with them. And this one I had just really started the Tedrick Go thing, but we were still on like a team, the 1% shit. And I remember talking to Wallow. He was in the house. He was looking at the trust box. He was like, that yellow and black. He was like, hey, bro, you need to go yellow and black. I say, huh? But going back to talking to him now, he said it was just a test. He said because a lot of people done been on this show and they talk about what they can do with their credit and they talk about this and they talk about that, but they just selling people dreams, right? He say, I really told you that to see if you was gonna go home and do it, right? Man, as soon as I got home,
I know, crazy.
Run my credit for this car, 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 shit. In the span of 12 months, nigga, I had 15 cars, yellow and black. From Rolls Royce color nuns to TR, to every Hellcat, TRX, Durango, Demon, Red Eye, like you name it. Cybertruck, GTs, G-Wagons, Vet C8s, like you name it, you know what I'm saying? And I just really locked in on the yellow and black, bro, because he said that. And what he did for me that day made my name bigger than what it ever could have been, because that's what people start seeing me as, oh, yellow and black, you know, this dude Tedrick the Go got all these cars. But you gotta understand this, I still never lost sight of the purpose. I didn't want to do the yellow and black. I didn't even want to play the internet or the Instagram and none of that shit, because I felt like all attention ain't good attention. Right? But for me, it was more, let me get the attention to these people, because Wallow told me one thing, you can be humble and still be humble. You know what I'm saying? It's how you carry yourself.
Facts.
And it goes back to what we talking about. I still gave God all the glory for even the yellow and black car, right? I've been paying $40,000 and $50,000 in car notes for 2 years, just to be able to get people to come notice me, to be able to sit down and say, hey man, I want that. But everybody I talk to, you don't want that. Let me tell you what you want. You want residual income. You want to be able to build these businesses. You want to be able to do this. So actually, yellow and black was a disguise to be able to capture the attention of people to actually come see, because in the world we live in today, people have been scammed so many times and been messed over so many times that they only believe what they can see and not what they can hear, because they hear a lot of shit. So seeing this African American male be able to accomplish something that ball players and rappers are only doing, and some of them ain't doing the shit I'm doing, right? So to be able to see that, and they come to me and be like, oh, we look up to you because you got this, I'm able to actually, and a lot of my mentees can say, like, I sit down and have a conversation with them and say, hey, that's bad debt. I got in bad debt to be able to teach you how to get in the right debt. To be able to grab your attention.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So it was all a marketing strategy, you know what I'm saying? And I never really with the yellow and black shit. That's why I started making my cars white and black. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the story behind the yellow and black. It's really Gillen and Wallow. But really Wallow. Wallow started. He told me to do it, and I just ran.
Yeah, I remember that conversation sitting in the living room with Wallow, and you know, it's different when you see somebody on the internet and You know what I'm saying? You can see the intelligence of him to a certain degree on the internet.
That's an intelligent dude, bro.
Yeah, dog. You know, I'm an intellectual, so when I was listening to him, you know, he was giving us a billion ideas. Y'all need to come with a board game. Y'all need to do this. You know? I'm like,
look. Hold on. And I talk about Monopoly all the time, bro.
Yes.
So like I was just telling somebody yesterday, I'm like, no, Wallo was just saying that we need to come up with a board game that's like Monopoly. This is a smart guy because he started making me look into the game of Monopoly. And when you look into the game of Monopoly, the game of the Monopoly tell you how to conquer the real estate game.
Facts.
People lose sight. They think it's just a game.
Nah,
but it tells you how to get a second mortgage on properties and go buy more properties.
Yep.
It shows you, because when I'm playing the game, I could beat anybody in Monopoly because I understand the game now.
That's it.
Right? I go around and buy the lowest properties that it takes the lowest amount of money to put houses and hotels on, while everybody trying to get Boardwalk and Park Place and all that. That's harder to get because Boardwalk and Park Place only got 2 colors.
2 each, yep.
Right? And on the other side, you got the greens. You know, it's 3 of them, but it's in between Community Chest and Chance and the railroads, and the go to jail is right on the other side of that motherfucker.
Yep.
So it's obstacles on Monopoly where the money is. But it teaches you a valuable lesson, like how to go buy all the small properties first. Anybody that's playing Monopoly, you could beat anybody. I'm gonna give you the strategy. Go buy all the small properties first and mortgage the big properties to put the houses and the hotels on that. Then you break everybody down and make them come spend money with you. So when Wallo said that, it put like a thought in my mind, like, damn, that's how you win in life.
Yeah.
That's the game is Monopoly.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, what's around all? You got Chance, you got Community Chest, and when you look at Chance Community Chest, you got more losses than wins. That's number one. Then you got go to jail right where the greens, the blues, and the yellows are, which is the highest properties on the board. So why would they put go to jail right there? Why they ain't put go to jail where they got visiting jail where the lowest properties at? You know? But a lot of people don't think that far. They can't think past go.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But them dudes really taught me a valuable lesson. When he talked about the board game, my mind went somewhere else.
Yeah. I remember we talked about it for months after that.
Yeah.
We definitely had conversations about it, man. So I guess now you end up buying all the cars, and then you end up buying your multi-million-dollar home. What was the feeling like to buy a mansion for your family after everything you've been through, after all the times your wife told you she wanted a house? You bought her one house as a starter pack, and then you really get like the house.
All right. So a lot of people don't know this. But in the transition of my daughter coming to me saying, Dad, I want another house, I was happy in the house I was in. We bought a house in 2019 that was $250,000. That same house today we still own, and a lot of my partners live in them, and I rent them out to them. House worth 400 something plus, right? Got a lot of equity in the house. But back then I was happy in the house I was. I said the only way I move is if my family want to move. So my daughter was like, Dad, I need a bigger room. I want another house. It's crazy because when we bought that house and moved from a $1,279 a month mortgage, excluding escrow, because we'd have had taxes, it would have been $1,900.
Yeah.
When we left there and went about this $1.4 million home, $1.35 million. At this time, this when our company would start taking L's, right? But I was so hell-fist on making sure my family was straight because they've been with me from the beginning. I want to make sure that they got what they wanted, even though I know it wasn't the right time. I got on my knees and I prayed to God and say, hey, I'm about to make this move, but I need you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things that I got going on financially right now don't even align with what I'm trying to do. And that's when that faith come in.
Yep.
And your trust in God come in. And I went and got that damn house. Went from a $1,279 mortgage to a $7,000 mortgage, and I feel fat broke, bro. Like, and everybody flat broke is different. I had my last $96,000 to my name. I know a lot of people like, oh, $96,000.
Nah.
But I'm leaving a house at $1,279 a month that ain't even rented out right now. I got other stuff going on. Me and you struggling with real estate properties in Louisiana, right? Our company struggling. I put my money by your house at the time.
Yeah.
You know I ain't lying.
I remember.
Right? I got $96,000, but I got 2-3 cars. I got a $7,000 mortgage. I got another $1,279 mortgage with property tax coming up for $12,000. I got this, that, and other going on. So $96,000 ain't shit.
Right.
That shit could be gone in the span of 5-6 months. And it's crazy how, I'm not gonna say crazy because I done went this so many times. Ain't nothing short of amazing. How a span of 6 months changed everything just by prayer. Yep. I went from $96,000 to being able to put $400,000 in liquid into my house to get new staircase and new flooring, new this. I went from worrying about how to pay the mortgage to putting $400,000 in the house.
Yeah.
How God ain't real?
Right.
How he don't answer prayer?
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I bought the house, and it's been nothing short but amazing. But you know, me and the wife, we working on something bigger right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember. I remember Terry's like,
I can't know how stressed out. I say, Tariq. He say, what? I said, man, these people got this house for about 1.4 million, but they asked me to put 250 grand down. I said, you know what we going through right now.
I know.
I said, you looked at me and say, I can't even give you no advice on this one.
I got that for you, for the 250.
Yeah, bro.
I was like, boy, it's a hit, boy. But only thing.
How you put 250 down on a house and then after you do that, you only stuck with $96,000.
Yeah,
and still be able to say, God, I trust in you.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
I will give you one thing. One of the best feelings that I always have as a business partner with you.
Risk taker.
You're going to take risks. The risk is true. You're going to take the risk, but what I know, my first time ever probably saying this to you, but I always felt the comfort of it, you're going to come out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. Like that's when you talking about your step but real daddy taught you that hustle, I know that to be true. I've lived it over and over with you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I know one thing. That boy got 96. Oh, he about to come up with a way to turn something around to figure something out. So I've always been impressed with the natural mind that you have because I see your mind at a different level that people may have never seen it. Because you got to think, a 6th grade education and some of the stuff you could think about that's going to pull you out, nigga, we could do bing, bing, bing and make this money like this.
Yeah.
Like, that nigga going to think about it every time.
Yeah.
I already know it, and I done seen it so many times. You got to think about it. It's been days, man, let's do Inquirer special. We make $20,000 in a day on Inquirers.
And actually get the job done,
And
too.
get the job done. Take care of the business and do it again. So I done seen it just happen so many times. So to be honest, though, it's like, I just wanted to share that with you, that I'm impressed with the way your mind works because it's not a normal way that people know how to maneuver. You feel what I'm saying? You see people, if they get in that bind, then, you know, God can still be there for them, but you still got a role to play. You got faith and you got works. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you're going to make it work. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, most definitely. I've always noticed, dog. Never going new. I pay attention to all the details.
Yeah.
All right, so we the tag of the cars, we the tag of the mansion, you know what I'm saying? And I know you done had some, some very, recent things happen in your life, traumatic things happen in your life, losing your son. So I just touch on that briefly. Like, what has that done for you? Or what done to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mentally or spiritually or just kind of like, losing a little one, bro, it's almost something most people can't fathom. It's a difficult thing to even think about. You know what I'm saying? So, what did that do for you?
I done been through a lot of things in life, bro. Just when you think you can never deal, I done been through losing two mamas, two fathers that's close to me. Losing so much, but never even fathomed losing a child, bro.
Yeah.
The night my child passed away, well, that's why I say the powers of God is real, but the guilt is real too. I have had all my kids but that one child, and he had came down for the summer, spent time with us, and he said, "Hey, I wanna come move with you, Dad." And I said, "Well, son, I know I got a big house, but I got a lot of moving pieces going on right now."
Yeah.
And I told him, "Just give me some time, just go through this school year, and I got you." And before he can get through that school year, man, he lost his life, bro. And it's a really sensitive subject for me, bro. Like, cause like losing him, it's the reason why I told my oldest son I never find peace. You know, I lost my two mamas, two daddies, but my peace is forever like taken away. And the only thing I can ever find is happiness, you know. And I know I used to always tell people, if you still got a mama, hold them tight, this, that, and the other. But in reality, a mama supposed to leave before a child do, a daddy supposed to leave before a child do. But a child at 15 years old not supposed to leave his parents.
No.
And I don't only feel for him in my situation. I feel for the other children that was in the car with him that passed away also. Because they got brothers, sisters, mothers, cousins, aunties, brothers, the whole 9 yards, you know what I'm saying? And, the thing about it, I never had a pinched nerve in my life. The night my son died, bro, and my son shared his location with me. He lived in Louisiana. I had a massage that night, and I ended up laying down in the bed. I had a pinched nerve. I was popping all kind of pain pills, and I'm like, what the hell wrong with my back? And I never looked at my son's location like, God's so real, he trying to tell me like, go look at this nigga location and see what he doing, And his mama was doing an amazing job. Rita Moore, by the way, like, she did an amazing job raising him, and she was ready to turn him over to me as a pre-adult, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't ready at the time because of what I had going on in my household and the amount of things I had going on in my life. It's a sensitive subject for me because it go back to with my mom. I feel like if I would have let my son come stay with me, he wouldn't have lost his life. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And that's a battle I got to go through for the rest of my life. That's why I say, if you got peace, protect your peace, because I probably never have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I ended up losing him, bro, because he stole his mama car to go on the driveway. I ride one night with 4 of his friends, and they flipped the car, and 4 of them lost their life, and the 5th one paralyzed for the rest of his life, bro. So that's a hard one. So I just want to tell people, when you think you done been through it all, and you think this is it, and this is the roughest it's gonna get, it's just getting started.
So how do you feel like you're able to still maintain your faith and your trust in God in the midst of something like this occurring in your life?
Because I have people in my life that God sending me that, like, I got a barber, his name is Valdez, and his mama is real spiritual, and the thing is, he was the type of guy that when I met him, he didn't believe in God because he used to always say, why would God let my mama struggle and she give all her energy to him? And I was one of them people that used to sit in his chair and explain my relationship to God to him that really like transformed his life into something that his mama couldn't even do for him. And turn around, his mama is the person that consoled me with my mom when my son died. And made me look at the bigger picture. He say, now, I know those other kids lost their life though, Tedrick, but your son, you know, he was a follower, he wasn't a leader, and I knew this, right? And what if he was down here and your son, you know, he would have had TJ in Brooklyn in the car, and that would have happened. What if you would have lost 3 kids or 4 kids instead of 1?
Yeah.
You know, but I don't like, even though she told me that, the way she told me, I don't like to think like that because I still lost my fucking child.
Yeah.
But I got people that God sent me to give me realistic expectations. Because my daughter is a follower. She's not a leader. 80% of the people in the world are followers. They're not leaders. So it's possible, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's possible, like, that I could have lost more child than 1, but at the same time, it still ain't gonna bring my baby back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's something I struggle with every day. So if you do have peace, protect your peace, because if you still got your mama, if you still got your children, especially if you still got your mama, your daddy, and your children in your life right now, and I know you got all 3 of those things, man, you got a chance to make shit right and have all the peace in the world. I never have peace. But I'll be able to have happiness by the success that I have. So, but like I said, the difference is I'm okay with it and I accept it. Most people can't do that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not in your situation, so it's hard to speak on that, but I do know that I'm going to leave you with this, is what is in my spirit. Your faith in God increased and it shed light on your life in different ways. The peace of God is what's next. Okay? Jesus is the Prince of Peace. So it's another level for you to unlayer, to understand that it is possible, even though now the pain you feel, the guilt you feel, that there's no peace ever. But this how you had to identify your identity. You got to identify the Prince of Peace as well. And it'll be a podcast for another day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I know that it's possible.
Yeah.
Not easy. I'm not in it.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what I felt in my spirit.
Yeah.
All right. So you done touched 40, a milestone.
Big 40.
Big 40, man.
And I'm feeling good because I'm on that casa.
Yeah, dog. What's next? Tell the people what's next for Tedrick the GOAT. Let them know what's popping. What else you got cooking up? And I'm saying you got to give everything if you want to, you know. But what you cooking up for right now?
What's next for me is something that shit. What's next for me is something that they not making anymore. You know. So what hit me a couple of years ago is, I say about a year ago, they ain't making no more land. Right? There ain't no way to make no more land.
That's it.
The land that's here is the land that's here. You know what I'm saying? So we just talked about this the other day. So the next cooker for me is to get rid of the liabilities and replace them with
assets.
I got so caught up into, and I'm gonna be honest, I got so caught up into the name Tedrick the GOAT and the cars and this, that, and the other, and people drawing into me to teach them to you know, the right thing to do. But the whole time I started going away from things that I knew was the right thing to do. So I'm trying to build an investment team right now for real estate.
Yep.
I'm not trying, I will.
Yeah.
Ain't no try, I will. Me and you just talked about this the other day, so I'm gonna get a group of powerful guys that wants to come together. It could be 10, 15, 20, as long as we on the same, had the same mind path. We put our resources together and get rid of the liabilities and add assets. Because I feel like at this point, I done made it to a point now to where my work shows, so I will always have clients. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Correct.
I done put in enough work for that. So now my mind is shifted to real estate. The same things that you thought will retire you later on, right? So my mind is in real estate right now, building an investment group of, men and women that want to come together and do new construction and build and build a portfolio and skyscrapers and big buildings and sky rises but we got to start somewhere though.
Most definitely.
So want to buy property and build and do new construction, but I don't want to do it I want to do it in a way that's right. So I want to buy and hold. I don't want to buy and sell. See, people with bad credit has to buy and sell. People that has good foundation and good credit can buy wholesale to the bank and rent out door for door and make their money.
Yeah.
So that's the new journey that I'm on right now. Me and you about to start that together.
Yep.
And not just that.
What else you got?
One of the new journeys that I want to start is teaching kids how to structure their lives. Everybody is not built for college. Every child is not built for college. It's not built for school, but I do believe in a high school education. So me and you been talking, we in the works. We about to build a school, a platform to where we can teach kids financial literacy the right way, teach them how to be entrepreneurs, teach them about credit, teach them. A lot of kids don't know about credit card utilization. They don't know about late payments. They don't know about, because grown people that we work with every day don't know that if you pay something late, you just really done fucked up.
Messed up everything.
Right? You done messed up. So now you got to restart, just 1/3 day late, So just be able to sit down and teach kids and give them the opportunity to learn something that they don't learn in school.
Yeah.
On our level.
Yeah.
Which is going to be life-changing. So being able to get into real estate, that'll provide for our families to be able to give back and live in the purpose is actually be able to give back to the kids before they get to a point of disappointment and fucking up and messing up their credit and filing bankruptcy and all that shit. So that's the two biggest things right now.
Good. So
Real estate investment group and
the academy.
Motherfucking Blueprint Credit Academy.
Yeah, so I'm excited about both of them. I know the real estate gonna be good. It's always exciting, you know what I'm saying? But Blueprint Credit Academy is gonna be the biggest, because like it says, it's fulfilling purpose for us.
Yeah, purpose. Yeah,
that's what it's about.
The real estate gonna be easy.
Yeah, that's
we understand that.
Yeah, but just be able to impact other people's lives, to start at a young age to understand stuff that they're not being taught nowhere else. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be hands down the best thing, though. Sure. So I'm excited for that. That next step, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a toast with you, dog.
I damn near drunk the whole bottle by now. I'm sitting there having the goddamn venting section.
Well, I'm gonna post some for
post
you.
Some of your. I ain't got that much left over here, goddamn it.
All right. Take us a little sip, dog. This is honestly to the journey to 40. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's a blessing to be able to make it to 40. As you know, many people don't. We don't take it lightly. Grateful for it. I know you're grateful for it. We was talking about it on our run. Like, I'm 40 and I could still run. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
It's a blessing.
That motherfucker 20 can't run.
Exactly. So I'm making a toast to you, dog. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. I'm excited to see what 40 gonna bring to you. I know this not the back end of your life. This is actually the best end of your life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited for the
this
things.
The start, baby.
Yeah, what God gonna do for you, the more lives you're gonna impact, And what they think they know of Tedrick the GOAT is only a piece of what they seen.
That's it.
So happy birthday, brother, to 40.
Thank you, brother.
So, all right, well, is there anything else you want to leave the people with, dog? I know people would love to jam you up, ask you questions, you know what I'm saying? But anything else you just want to put out there to the people, tell them, you know, whatever you got on your heart.
I don't know, man. I'm just happy to be here.
Well, listen, I know
Look, I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be 40. I've been through so much, and I ain't even think I'll make it to this point, bro.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to leave with, like, just be thankful. Like I told you, I was on my knees today in that shower, nigga, and all I could say is,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know it oh so well. Well, with that being said, this is the wrap up of my dog, Tedrick the GOAT, journey to 40. Wish my dog a happy birthday, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, this is the best is yet to come for him.
Hey, we had the part of the year the other night, goddamn it.
Oh, yeah. Love you, brother.
Love you, too.
Facts.
That bit was lit, boy.
I
could talk to you, 'cause I think about you all the time. Wish that you were right here. I miss you always being on my side, but everything's alright when you're in my mind.
I hate it took for me to lose you, to appreciate you being here. And RP next to your name, been looking hella weird. Guess it's not supposed to be right there. You left early, guess it was your time to disappear. No magic trick, 'cause you ain't never get the real pill. But I'll go deaf in both my ears just to have you here. I'm writing this with tears. Won't let them out forget your name. This shit like Call of Duty, how you let them take you out the game? Know this shit wasn't in the chapter, wish I could just rip out this page. As a kid just playing, wish I could go back to them days. No, it'll never be the same. Give a fuck about having fame. If I can't celebrate them times we ain't having how far we came, it's a different wound. We down missing you. I'm down here missing my niggas, fuck the cameras, this shit one picture. Looking at all our pictures, I'm just wishing shit went different. Remember nights we was sitting, thought about quitting, but we wanna be richer. We like fuck it now, we them niggas. Like nah, for real, who really fucking with us? 'Cause we the littest, we the biggest. We'll go against the whole world, I'll paint the whole city. For my niggas who ain't here no more. For my niggas who ain't make it home. I hate it took for me to lose you, to appreciate you being here. And RP next to your name been looking hella weird, 'cause it's not supposed to be right there. You left early, guess it was your